And we're live. Hello everybody. I'm here with Jen, right?
Yeah, hey,
This is Jen.
I'm the developer of Lawmage Academy. You can call me Jin, but I go with the name of Verinius as sort of my
Verinius.
trademark.
I always like that
Yeah.
name. It's got a cool ring to it. Um, Obviously, so we're having Lawmage Academy in the background as your guys' watching pleasure. And we're gonna ask you a few questions here. Well, first question I ask: what inspired you to make a game?
Right. Last year, 2018, RPG Maker MV went for free all of a sudden. It's like over the weekend thing, it went for free.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried it out. I was curious. And I had fun with it because it has nice art, nice sprites, and everything. And I've always fantasized about a magic school role playing game with a not so linear story, and I wanted to have a game with a general arc which will ask you to make choices, and from there your experience in the game will be affected. Now, some games in the past came close to my fantasy game, like for example Persona 4, Persona 3, or Manakemia, but there was always something lacking in one sense or another. And
Right.
that's when I had the idea for Long Range Academy. When I decided to make a game last year, I had zero background in game development. Like really, it's just something that went for free. RPG Maker went for free over the weekend, but I liked it, and I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna do this for 1 hour every day for 1 year, and I'm going to commit to that, and I will document every step of the way, all of my progress. I'm going to take screenshots and tell people what I'm doing. I was doing it in Facebook back then because
Right.
at least I can upload photos there. And I just had to learn everything from scratch. And I made it a personal experiment of, can I learn a skill with zero knowledge? Can I learn this skill if I just dedicate the time, 1 hour every day, and the passion and just a commitment to learn this? And now 1 year later, I finally have a demo, and I can tell myself and tell anyone that you don't have to be naturally talented. You don't have to be a genius to learn any skill, whether it be music, game development, mathematics, whatever. You can learn anything. You can study it. There are resources online. And it was really so what inspired me to make a game was a personal experiment of wanting to prove a point that I can do something, that I can learn something.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that I finally made that point. At least I can say it to myself.
Yeah. So I agree 100%. As far as like everyone can learn, something new from the ground up. It's just you don't have to have any
Yeah.
skills whatsoever. It's just a mindset kind of thing, in my opinion. If you,
Yeah, and a lot of people, I keep hearing this from a lot of people, like they used to be good at drawing, or they used to be good at the piano or something like that, or I knew how to draw, or I was good back then, but then I realized I wasn't so good, and so I stopped doing it. It was always disappointing for me to hear those things, but the difference really is the mindset that of course you're not going to be perfectly good in the beginning, but if you put in the time and the effort and to really dedicate some time to study something, you will eventually be good. You cannot be bad and get worse and worse. The
right,
only way to go in any skill is to improve. The only way to go is up. Right? And so I wanted people, in a way, like whenever people would ask me in interviews, I would always say this, that you can learn any skill given enough time and effort, but you just have to commit to it in your own pace. Which
exactly.
brings, actually, just came to me just now. You know how in school you're always graded for the work that you do,
Hmm.
like you're measured based on the grades. And the problem is, not everyone learns at the same pace. Some people learn faster than others in certain subjects. For
Right.
example, you can learn math faster than I could, or I could learn physics faster than you could.
Yeah,
So we
exactly.
all have our own pace. But what happens in school is that you're given like 1 year or one semester to learn this, And if you don't learn this within this time period, you're going to fail. And that hurts your self-confidence because you begin to think, maybe I'm not meant to learn this. When in fact, what's happening is you're not just you need more time, but you can learn it. So when it comes to learning skills, now that I'm not in school anymore and I have a bit more control of my time, I can study things at my own pace. And I've realized that studying is actually fun as long as I'm not pressured with a fear of failure or with the grades or anything like that. It's actually fun. It's only a matter of time until I learn. That's why I got into pixel art as well a few months ago, and now I can see the progress as well. And you can check it out on Twitter and Instagram. The
And
difference from months ago to now, it's like night and day.
yeah,
It was only a matter of time.
I've seen your old version of oh man, I just forgot his name.
Ein? Is it
Yes,
Ein?
Ein.
Yeah.
I saw an old version of him to what he is now and what he is in the demo, and it's definitely changed. I really like that you've
Yeah.
made them taller.
Yeah, and it took a lot of revisions. It took a lot of failure. And when I say failure, like you see a sprite of Ein from of different styles, that shit took weeks to make. Weeks. It
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
done in hours. It looks like it's done in like 1 hour, 2 hour because it looks so simple, but it's not. Like it's really I had to do a lot of erasures and adjusting the size of the hands and the feet and the head, and sometimes it doesn't look quite right, so you do it all over again up until you get to a certain point that okay, this one's kind of acceptable. But it took me weeks to do that, especially when you're animating. When you're animating, you're making 12 pictures or how many frames you have. You're not just making one picture, you're making like 3 pictures, and then 3 separate pictures when they take damage, 3 separate pictures when they're using an item. That really took like a month for me to make it, the old version one. But eventually, as I gained more experience, I started learning more about the software A Sprite and started learning techniques because I was watching YouTube videos, and that made me work faster now. So I can work faster, but I'm working on a bigger sprite compared to the previous ones. Like from 48 pixels, it's now 96 pixels tall. So, but it looks better, and I know that I can improve and work faster given enough practice.
so
Yeah.
that's the thing about pixel art. It looks simple, and people think, oh, it's so
Yeah.
easy and it's so simple. Yeah, some I guess could be easy if you're making basic pixel art, just little squares and not actually going into detail. Yeah, sure. But when it comes to like actually doing pixel art at the level that you guys do it in, like
Yeah.
it's just insane. Like you guys have a lot of talent, and
Well, I mean, I still believe anyone can do pixel art, but don't underestimate it.
yeah,
Right. As you said, it's not as simple as it looks, but I still believe anyone can do it because I was able to do it. So,
yeah. I
but
mean,
it's not as simple as it looks, man.
you just got to put the time in, put the practice in, and keep improving
Exactly.
on
It's just
yourself.
like any other art. It's just like any other art,
I've been
any other skill.
Do you remember the green like slime that I made?
I
Pixel
don't
art.
remember it.
Oh man,
I don't remember.
I think I may have tagged the Lunar Lux dev in it, but it's like a little quick, weird looking slime pixel art that I made, and it looked horrible. But I animated it for its tentacles to move and stuff. I was really happy with it, and I'm gonna
I
improve
haven't
on that
seen.
eventually.
Yeah, but actually, one of the things that inspired me to start pixel art because back then I was convinced that I'm going to hire an artist because I can't do art like shit. So
Right.
I was pretty convinced, 100%, that I will hire an artist after I get some funding and they will do all the art. But then when I was browsing Twitter, there was this one person who made their first animated sprite. It's called Slime Girl. It's nothing really great and mind
Well,
blowing, but
I think
for
I've
someone
seen
who
that,
did
man.
it, yeah, the girl with the hat that bounces a
Mhm.
bit.
Yeah.
For someone who did it for the first time, it was pretty impressive. And I thought when I saw that, I said, if she can do that as her first time, I think I can do something similar. It may not be as good, but I will always have the excuse like, oh, this is my first time, so I want to show this to everyone. This is my first time, and I went for it. And A Sprite software is like $5, and you own it permanently.
Right.
Unlike Adobe Photoshop, you have to pay a yearly fee, and so it wasn't really a big investment, but so it wasn't. I mean, $5. I could just get it right and then experiment, and it took off from there. It just took off, and I love seeing people do things for the first time,
Hmm.
and and them being so proud of it, and it's because that's what inspired me to do it in the first place.
Right. I
I
was
I
about to ask that. What
Yeah,
inspired you
and
to
I
do
would
pixel art?
see very beautiful murals of pixel art, but those things, they don't inspire me to start because I
Hmm.
know that I will not be at that level. But when I see people doing things for the first time and it's simple, and that inspired me and made me
Hmm.
think I could start working on this because they were able to, and I can do something simple like that. Unlike if I'm looking at something really, really great, really, really beautiful, I would get discouraged. So that's how I started pixel art as well.
Okay. So obviously, I believe you said at one point you're in law school, right?
Yeah, now I've graduated from law school,
You've graduated. Congratulations.
2017, 2 years ago. It went by so fast, right? It went
Really?
by so fast. Now I'm a lawyer now. I'm about 1 year, 6 months in practice. So I'm just glad I'm not in school anymore, bro.
Yeah.
No more grades, no more studying. I mean,
My
no more
girlfriend
sitting
is in
down and studying for
college.
exams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's in college. She's going for sociology and
Oh yeah, you
stuff like
mentioned,
that.
right.
Yeah. She hates it.
That's great.
She can't wait for it to be over.
Yeah, I mean, just get through it. Just get through the school, and then you
That's
can
what I
start
tell her.
working. And
Tell her just
yeah,
keep going, man. You made it this far. You got this year and next year left. That's it.
yeah.
Um,
Sociology or social work, or is it the same in the US?
Sociology, and she's going in sociology and woman gender studies. She's going to
Oh,
become
okay,
like
it's cool.
HR worker or social worker, stuff like that. That's what she's trying to do.
Okay, cool, awesome. I
Um,
asked because I think there's a difference in, at least in my country, like there's a difference
mhm.
between sociology and social work, as in the course. So I was wondering about it. Yeah.
So
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I do have a question. So the English in the game is really good, and as you just mentioned, you're in a whole nother country. Do you speak
Yeah.
English like primarily, or because I don't actually know? You're from the Philippines, right?
Yes. In the Philippines, so we've been colonized by the Americans back in the 1940s,
Hmm.
and the language. In the 1940s, the Americans built, or at least introduced, or improved upon the public schools,
Hmm.
and they started teaching English, and that carried over to the culture, to the point that even our local laws are in
Hmm.
English. Our constitution is in English, and so
Okay.
English language it's pervaded the culture in the Philippines, like pop culture. Whatever is popular in the U.S., it's probably popular in the Philippines as well. All your artists, all the
Hmm.
TV shows, it's
That's
probably popular in the Philippines as well. Our commercials are usually in English. So there are pros and cons, but anyway, a lot of people here are comfortable with English, and
hmm.
especially if you go to higher education, you can expect people to speak fluent English. Like
Right.
when you're taking doctorate degrees, you have to write your thesis in English, your
Hmm.
dissertations in English. So, and you have to reach a certain standard of vocabulary to make a dissertation. So people are quite comfortable, and that helped me, of course, make my game as well because it wasn't a huge challenge for me
So I was wondering that.
to.
Um, Go ahead.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge challenge for me to speak English.
Yeah. See, I was
That's what I was
wondering.
gonna say.
I was wondering that because the Peaceful Days developer, he actually uses a translator. So occasionally while I'm playing his game, I'll find an error in English. Like it'll is
Yeah.
adjectives won't make sense, but then I'll send it to him and I'll help him correct it and stuff like that. But um, another question I have. So um, did you ever think that Lawmage Academy would be this big of a success that it is now for just, being a demo and what it is.
Yeah, nah, I didn't, man. No way. Okay. So I released the demo around July or April. I'm not sure anymore, but within this year.
Right.
And the only reason why I uploaded it on itch, I mean, prior to uploading it, I was testing the game with my friends. I would physically take my laptop, meet in a coffee shop, and watch them play. But I have friends. So in the Philippines, it's an archipelago, so lots of islands. So I could have friends from a different island, and we may not be able to meet. So
Right.
I wanted to upload it in the internet so they could download it. And so I uploaded it, and I made an Instagram, I made a Facebook account, and just told my friends, you guys can download it, test it. The goal is really to have 100 people, just 100. That's actually already a huge goal for me. I was expecting
Right.
like, okay, 20 people will download this and play it, and most of them will be my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want feedback. I want to know if they had fun in a purely objective sense. And as much as possible, I wanted strangers to play it so that they wouldn't be biased. Like they would say it's fun because they're my friends. So I wanted strangers to play it. So I uploaded it on itch, and all of a sudden, like, and I was promoting it on Discord as well. I would join Discord servers
Mm-hmm.
where you can promote your games on certain channels. And I recommend game devs to do this as well. There are many Discord servers out there where you can promote your games.
And
And that's how
Discord's
I met.
huge.
Yeah, and there's a huge community for the RPG Maker games. And I met Frederick Borromeo, and he suddenly PM'd me in Twitter, and he said he made a Wikipedia page of Lawmage Academy because it's a thing that he's doing. He's making pages for
Mm-hmm.
RPG Maker games. And then he introduced me to Light of Apollo Gaming, who is a YouTuber from Greece, and he made the very first Lawmage Academy videos.
Mm-hmm.
After Apollo, I made a Twitter, and they start and I had 200 followers several months ago. 200 followers months ago,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy
that's
because you're
when
at what, a
crazy,
couple thousand
right?
now?
Now I have like 2,000 followers. It's like
There you
times
go.
10 in span of a few months. But it's all thanks to people like Skull Slabs who keep
Mm-hmm.
tagging you and tell people to follow you because they like your content. Zach, Indie Dev World Order, Hour a Day Gamer. He's the very first streamer who DM'd me and said he wanted to do a game. Back then, Our Day Gamer wasn't streaming indie games. He was streaming retro games,
Mm-hmm.
Lost Vikings, SNES, SNES, Atari
Right.
games. He would just play 1 hour and that's it, and then go to his next stream, play 1 hour, and then that's it. That was the Our Day Gamer trademark. And he PM'd me and said, 5 minutes into the game, the moment I heard the music, I knew I was gonna love this game. Can we schedule a day where I will stream this?
That was a
The
big
problem
thing for
was,
me as well, was the music.
yeah, the problem was his next available schedule was like 3 weeks
Oof.
from our message. Like that was our common schedule that was available. We made that work for us because we were able to build hype around it. We
Mm-hmm.
made posters, like every week we would remind people for the stream. I plugged it to all my friends. Our plugged it to all his friends. Back then, he had like 2,000 followers,
Mm-hmm.
which was a huge thing for me because I only had 200. Now he has 5,000, and like we hyped it up. And after that very first stream, and I made sure to keep people engaged. I gave out bits, gave out emotes. There was a super cheer going on. Like when you give 200
Right.
bits, it would give free emotes to people in the chat. So that was an incentive to keep people in the stream.
Right.
And after that stream, maybe like 2 hours, only 28 people. I mean, 28 people is a lot watching in stream. But after that, people watched the video, the VOD, and word just spread around like wildfire, and more streamers. That's how I met Poseidon. That's how I met iPoke. That's how
Mm-hmm.
I met so many other streamers who played the game. Silent Wrath, Dark Chaos, you. I think that's how I met you.
Yep.
And then Lunar Lux started messaging me. I made friends with other indie devs, And I know it's just one small thing. I would celebrate one victory, one achievement. Like I believe in celebrating small victories. So every time someone streams it or uploads a video in YouTube, I'll make a big deal out of it. I'll make a post
Hmm.
about it. I'll be so proud of it because I am not paying. I don't have a marketing fund.
Right.
I'm a solo dev with no budget, and everything I'm spending is out of my own pocket. And so I would be so grateful when someone would upload a video or ask for an interview
Hmm.
or stream the game, and I may not have money, but what I can do is just really promote what you're doing and be physically present in your stream, in your when you premiere your video in YouTube or when you try
Hmm.
to ask for interviews, because I cannot pay for this and I'm taking every available opportunity
Right. No, I
to put
completely
a
understand.
right to put an online fingerprint or footprint so that when people search Lawmage Academy, they would find videos, articles, streams, YouTube videos, and not just my itch page. So that's the goal there.
Yeah, when you actually Google Lawmage Academy, there's actually so much that comes up now. It's insane.
Yeah, but back then it was just the itch page.
Yeah. Which
And
comes to my. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Okay. So it comes to another question I have. So I actually didn't know what itch.io was until
Yeah.
about September, and your game was actually one of the first games I found on itch. I was just scrolling through. I had actually put the tag in. Just I think it was 2D
Yeah,
RPG, like
yeah.
Final Fantasy style game, and
Right.
I actually came across this game and I wishlisted it, and I hadn't downloaded it yet, or well, wishlisted, collected it as they
Oh
call it
yeah,
on
yeah.
itch. I just died on Lawmage. I feel bad. Um, so it's like I didn't know exactly what it was, and then I had searched it up on Twitter to see if there's more, and that's when I found
Mhm.
Hour a Day Gamer, and I actually saw some of his posts about it and
Oh, cool. Cool.
um, found you that way, and that's how I got interloped in all of this and started doing videos on it and all that. And I can't thank you enough because your game alone was like one of the first games to actually like truly blow up on my channel as far as views goes and all
Oh,
that.
really?
Yeah,
Oh, cool, cool.
because I was playing smaller time indie games off of Steam at the time.
Mhm.
First game I played on channel was a game called The Devil's Womb, and it was a weird horror game, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, cool.
Still never beat it, but it's hard. Um,
Yeah, and when Poseidon uploaded
mhm.
the very first YouTube video for Lawmage Academy, um, like it blew up as well. It had like 200 views. He was
Nice.
getting about 80 views per video of indie games. I mean, he was playing indie games as well. But
Hmm.
when Lawmage Academy was uploaded, it had 200 views. But I really helped promote it. Like I I have friends, online friends in Telegram. I promoted it in Telegram, in Instagram, in my Twitter, and in my personal Facebook. And I told people, guys, please support my game. I mean, I told my friends, like, please support my game. Please drop by the premiere of this YouTube video. Please drop by the stream. I really
Hmm.
pull them in because it's the very first time that my game is going to have a YouTube video, and it just meant so much to me.
Right.
And now I can't do it anymore because there's so many things happening and I can't demand time anymore from people. But
Right.
I still try to be there in the streams or in anything.
Yeah, and I
But I
see you
still
all the
appreciate
time in the
it.
streams, and it's just awesome to see they're interacting with everybody and everybody just
Yeah, yeah,
loving it.
exactly. And I just really appreciate it because normally people would pay money just to be featured wherever in the media.
Hmm.
But here, streamers are looking for content, looking for game devs that they can stream or games that they can play on stream, and it's a bonus if the developer is there because it would, give it a sense of legitimacy,
Hmm.
like right. And I try to be there for them at least, and try to give some bits at least
Hmm.
for like a token of appreciation. They're not asking for it, but it's like my way of saying thank you to just give some bits. I mean,
Exactly.
it's not much, but something.
Right. And see,
So
money's usually pretty tight for me, so I try to donate when and
yeah,
where I can, or
and
give bits when and where I can.
People in Twitch, they are so super understanding. They would always say it's not necessary, but it's very much appreciated. And I like that kind of culture as well, and the sense of gratefulness that I'm not entitled to anything. And because I am not entitled, personally, I'm not entitled to your videos, to being interviewed. I mean, I have a demo for a game with default RPG Maker assets, and I am in no way in a position to, to ask for anything. That's why I really appreciate everything that people are showing interest. But anyway, to answer your question, yeah, I never expected it to go this far at this point. Like, I was thinking maybe upon release, 5 years from now or 4 years from now, it might blow up, but not as soon as this. So it really came as a shock for me.
Yeah, it's crazy how well, you just put something out small and you don't have the greatest hopes for it, but then it just turns around and you're getting major support out of it. And the game is great. Like, I absolutely love the game. Even if it's just the demo for now. Like, 4 years from now, this game is going to be completely different, and I have a very good feeling it's still going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
And I just like seeing all the progress you post on Twitter. You keep everyone updated, and you've been on a break for a while now, but you gotta do that. You can't wear yourself out, otherwise you get unmotivated, and it's good to take that time away.
You know how every now and then during idle moments, I would have ideas for the game, and I would always get this picture of how the game will look like as a complete version. I would just get ideas and I would imagine how it looks like, and it excites me so much. It really does, because it really looks great. I mean, it's not super amazing in terms of graphics. I mean, it's still pixel art, but it looks so well polished, and the only way I can show it to everyone, what's in my head, is to actually make it. So I really want to complete this as soon as possible, but I have to pace myself because I'll get burnt out. But I'm super excited as well to show you guys what's in store and how it's gonna look in 1 to 2 years from now.
The reason I was so intrigued by this game is the simple fact it is an RPG, but it's also like that JRPG style. So, like, I grew up on old school Final Fantasy games, and absolutely loved the turn-based little pixel art style of the games, and that's what got me into Lawmage heavily.
Yeah.
Was it played just like those classic games. Story was very intriguing and interesting, and it was just a whole lot of fun to play. And if this bat keeps blocking me off, I'm going to delete it from existence.
Are you playing right now?
Yeah, that's like the background as we talk. Because for some reason it won't let me just play or like record audio for some reason. So I'm having Lawmage in the background to kind of give them an idea what the game is if they haven't already seen it, which I doubt, because everyone's seen it.
I want to bring something up, and I'm not sure if you're aware of the stigma from RPG Maker games. I think you are aware. So people think that, I mean, not everyone, but like developers in general, they think that RPG Maker is a bad engine, or there's so many bad RPG Maker games because they all look alike, and they're banking on the nostalgia of retro style RPG, because that's a style they give you. RPG Maker gives you like default assets that does look like old school Final Fantasy or anything.
No,
but
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I wanted to prove a point as well, that this is RPG Maker is an engine, not the game. And if your game is bad, no matter what engine you use, it will be bad. A bad game design is a bad game, no matter what engine. So I wanted as well to prove a point that you can make good games using RPG Maker MV, and I will not let that stigma stop me, because I'm comfortable with this engine and it's great. And the engine and the limitations, granted, there are limitations in the RPG Maker MV, but limitations breed creativity, and even other engines, they have their own limitations. And in fact, when you have too much freedom, you don't have limitations set for yourself that might lead you off track, and you won't have focus when you're making a game. You might try to do so many different things and not stick to something solid just because you can do it.
Right.
So, but I wanted to prove that point, and I think I have proven that point, that you can make an RPG Maker game and it can be relatively successful, get a bit of attention as well.
Now, I've heard of people bashing RPG makers. I've seen it here and there on Twitter, and I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, some people do rely heavily on that nostalgia. But for me, I'm not going to go just off of nostalgia when I play a game. I look for elements in story, or like, I don't care if you can make 100 games that look the exact same to me, but they could also have a unique story. And that's what will drive me to that game.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there is that stigma for people who don't know. There is that stigma against RPG Maker games. But again, it's just an engine. It's always just an engine. It's not the game itself. But I do understand where people are coming from, because there's so many RPG Maker games, and a lot of it are unfinished and it's not good. But at the same time, and the reason for that is because of it's so easy to get into it. The learning curve is low. So anyone who can just have a laptop and who can get a copy of RPG Maker can make a game.
Right.
You don't need to code. And that's what got me into it. That's what got me into making Lawmage, because I don't know how to code. I just know how to operate RPG Maker MV. And that worked for me because, I don't know how to code at all. And yet I'm making my dreams come true by making a game, despite my own limitations in knowledge. So that's it.
Okay, so moving off topic here. You went to ESGS 2019 this year. Tell me about your experience with that. What was your thoughts on how Lawmage did at ESGS there, and what were your how you felt there? I don't know.
So it was my very first game convention, both as an attendee and as an exhibitor. I've never been to any game conventions before, so I didn't know what to expect. But the logistics was really well set up. So I give props to Gwen Foster for inviting me to showcase an indie fiesta of ESGS. I had my own table there with some plugs, so I could plug. I had 2 sockets where I could plug my laptop or my phone, and I had 2 chairs. And I look at all these awesome indie games that have been made in a game jam or as a capstone project by students, and other games that have been in development for years. And I felt like an underdog, because I'm new to the industry and it's my first time, and I was alone. And the 3 days I was alone. On the 4th day I had people with. But people would pass by and they would test the game, and majority of them would really like it, would enjoy it, would love it. But the limitations of having an RPG, that you want to play it for the story and the progression. But when people are in a game convention, they only want to play for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. But I had people sitting there for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that would have been me.
Because because they enjoyed it. And I would tell them, you could just download the game. It's available here, and I would give them the business card.
But, those business cards were sweet.
Yeah, I wish I could give you one, just for souvenirs or remembrance.
Heck yeah, dude.
One of the highlights there was when there's Go Game, they're a mobile game publisher who are representatives. It's just like a subsidiary of Sega. So say Sega invested money in Go Game, and so they have this affiliation sort of. And these 2 people, I didn't know they were publishers, but I just invited them to play it. Go ahead and play, and they liked it, and they gave me their business card. And at any time when I'm ready, I can just contact them and ask them to have it published, and hopefully they could accept it, and then just put that Sega brand in the game. Who knows? Could happen.
When I read that, I was like, wow, that is huge.
That's
Sega
super
being
huge.
a mega company for video games, that blew my mind. I was like, wow.
Exactly. Maybe when I start developing for the mobile port, maybe I
Mm-hmm.
could do it, pitch the game to them, or maybe in future game conventions, I'd meet more publishers
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. There's still so much of the business I have to experience, but it will come. The right time will come for it.
Yeah.
But just knowing that it's possible, that knowledge that this might be possible, this could happen, it excites me very much. And after ESGS, the game was nominated for awards. We didn't
Okay.
win. Lawmage Academy didn't win, but just the fact that the very first time
Mm-hmm.
it got nominated, the very first time I showed it, and it's a freaking demo, and it already got nominated for awards. I mean, that's a huge achievement for me already, as it is. And it got featured in the national news. It got featured in gaming blogs in the Philippines.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Um,
National
it
news
paid
that it
off.
got. I read that
Yeah,
article,
yeah.
and that was crazy. I was like, wow, they're really picking up on it. Congrats, man.
and
That's
and
huge.
it's not even popular in the Philippines. I think
Really.
it's more popular in the US right now. A lot of my followers in Twitter are from the US
Mm-hmm.
and not the Philippines. So
Now.
I do, but I mean, there's I could use the local support as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
might focus on that next year as well. Just putting it out in the local scene and make the Philippines proud. And because we have a lot of streamers as well in the Philippines who are Twitch
Mm-hmm.
partners, casters, and I mean I could use their help get the game out there when it's ready.
Yeah,
Very much
100%.
so. Yeah.
What was I about to say? I don't remember.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so Lawmage Academy was in national news. What was your reaction when you saw that?
Um, I couldn't believe it that it's happening. I might as well tell you how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was in
Go
my
for it.
Facebook. That was after ESGS. It was in my personal Facebook. The writer, Michael Logarta, but I didn't know he was the writer yet. Someone just messaged me in Facebook and added me as a friend and asked if he could interview me. So he would post it in his blog, and then he would write an article for the national news, GMA News Network. It would take some time before it will get approved, so he will publish an article in his gaming blog first,
Mm-hmm.
and then after a few weeks, the news article will get published. So I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming weeks before, but I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to surprise people because it might get canceled, right? It might
Right.
not get approved, so I didn't want to count it was still not there. So when it finally came out, I was so proud of it because I really never expected it to be featured this far or this big, so
Right.
early in development. And like people, my personal friends and business contacts, my colleagues would always congratulate me for the progress of Lawmage Academy. Um, like I suddenly got known for being that lawyer who's also making a game. I would get introduced, and I would introduce myself in events like, "What do you do in your free time?" And I would say, I'm making a game, Lawmage Academy, and I would be surprised that some people they know about it already. Like, "Oh, so you're the guy? I didn't know it was you, but yeah, I've heard of it." And so
That's crazy.
it's a bit like surreal. It's surprising. Like I can't believe it sometimes that it's
Mm-hmm.
gone this far already. And I didn't even pay for that article. I didn't pay to get featured there. It wasn't paid advertising or anything. So
Right.
really grateful for that opportunity as well.
Now, Lawmage Academy obviously is not going to be out for a
For some
long
time.
time. Um, do you
Yeah.
have like any plans for the future as far as more demos come and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. A new demo. My target is next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's version 6. I know there are some bugs in version 5, a few game-breaking bugs, but I want to wait up until version 6 to... I've already fixed the bugs, but I don't want
Mhm.
to upload them yet. I want my next demo to have the new sprites in
Mhm.
them. It may not necessarily be the environmental, but at least the character sprites will be revised. The items and hopefully the menus will be revised as well. I want it to be a huge update
Right.
and make a trailer, make a gameplay trailer,
Mhm.
and just get it ready for crowdfunding after I upload a demo. So sometime within next year, you can expect a new version to come out, and
I
it's
can't
gonna
wait to
look
play.
better, like 100% better, and there will be some improvements in the map, in the quests, in maybe some additional secret contents for for veterans. You know, if you're playing this for the
Mhm.
second time, the third time, I'll try to make sure that there's something new for you to discover, just to
Yeah.
make it worthwhile to play again.
And that's what I was gonna
So
ask my next question.
yeah,
Would there be a new area for us to go around? And you kind of
yes,
answered that a little bit.
yes, I will try. Definitely, there will be new areas,
Mhm.
but if we're talking about early game content,
Mhm.
I'll try to add some new areas. Try, or at least try to add something
Right.
so that people who have played the game before will find something new, and it will kind of feel new to them as well, even though they know what's already going to happen.
Hey,
So,
we.
for example, I might make the house gardens bigger because of the
Mhm.
updated sprites. They're taller now, so the space kind of looks small for them. So I might make the house
Make it
commons
bigger.
bigger. Your room, I could make it bigger. Everything, I could just make the space bigger and adjust the design a bit just to
Mhm.
accommodate the new sprites. So that's
Yeah.
one thing you can expect. Yeah.
Yeah, but say accommodating the new sprites and having the taller sprites, I can imagine some of the areas might feel cramped now, such
Yeah,
as
definitely.
the secret painting area and areas
Yeah.
like that,
Yes,
and where
yes.
it's pretty small. Yeah, I can imagine it would be a little weird. Um, I do have to ask because there's a lot of cool looking monsters in Lawmage Academy, such as the one I'm fighting on screen now, which is the fire spirit from the Eurasian
Oh,
forest.
okay.
Um, which I just spared. I don't know why I should have ended his life. Um, whatever. What was your inspiration behind all? Did you make these, or did they come from RPG Maker?
Okay, those things they come from RPG Maker MV
Gotcha.
as default assets. But you're right, they look really nice. And I said these monsters are good enough to be
Hmm.
placeholder. I mean, they're um, they are too good to be placeholders.
Right.
But you could release a game with these monsters as it is.
Hmm.
But I use them as placeholders anyway because the design looks really nice, and I have to hand it over to RPG Maker for making such really nice stock assets for it.
Right.
So yeah,
That's always something I wondered. Because I know with Monsters of Kanji, and the reason why he takes so long to give updates is all his monsters are hand drawn in this weird, unique style.
yeah, and it takes a while. And to save time, you can actually buy some assets in
Exactly.
Steam or in the store. You can buy some monsters there. The problem is sometimes it's not consistent. The
Right.
art would not be consistent with your tile sets or with your characters or with your weapons. So that's one problem that developers have to face. At some point, they have to make it consistent.
See,
But
I
but for me,
imagine
it's
that would be the tough
yeah.
part.
Actually, if you look at the demo right now, some of the monsters they don't look consistent with the character sprites,
Hmm.
but it's okay. I mean, it's tolerable. I know people will understand because it's still a
Right.
demo and it's not a final output.
Right.
But you know,
It's not a
I'm
complete
not gonna
game.
lose
It's
sleep
bound
over
to
it.
change. Right. Don't want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
sleep over.
exactly.
Definitely don't. Let's see. What other questions can I think of to ask you? Let's see. Well, hmm, that's an
No
interesting
worries.
concept. Is there any game developers that actually inspire you and or Wallmage?
Maybe not game developers, but games.
Games, yeah.
So the Persona series, the day and night system, the friendship system, the calendar,
Hmm.
the job system where you can take a job at night, where you can choose to go out of the academy
Right.
or stay within the school. Those concepts were taken from Persona. It's largely inspired by Persona. It's not exactly the same, but it you can see if I've seen people, some YouTubers who uploaded videos, and if they played Persona, they know it's from that one.
See, I've played.
They would recognize it.
I think I
And
played
also,
Persona 5. I think that's the one I
okay,
played.
I haven't played Persona 5, but I think they follow the same formula as
Pretty
3
much.
and 4 anyway. Also, Manakimia. Manakimia was really huge in terms of the visuals
I don't
and
think I've
the
heard of that.
theme. So it's imagine Hogwarts but more anime,
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like
Yeah,
that.
that would be kind of cool.
Except you don't have houses, but you do have certain workshops.
Hmm.
So a workshop is like a club or a group of friends, and you have your own room, you have your own laboratory, and that's basically your club or your house. And
Okay.
that's the concept behind Manakemia. And it's a school setting, and you can go out of the academy anytime you want. You can also develop relationships with friends. You can sell whatever things you make from your workshop. You can sell it in school,
Hmm.
things like that. It was really fun, but it wasn't as fun as Persona. So I wanted to have like a Manakemia sort of style, but the gameplay mechanics is as polished as Persona. And I knew that it's highly unlikely for a game like that to come out anytime soon.
Right.
So I decided to make my own game, which
Hey, and
incorporates
I'm
those elements.
glad you did because I absolutely loved the 20
Thank you so
plus
much.
hours I have in this damn game. I still play it from time to
20
time,
plus
trying to
hours.
find little bugs or hidden secrets that I may have missed.
Awesome. That's cool.
Um,
And just just I don't know, just to put this out there and maybe to keep you excited, I do plan to put a dueling system in the game. Um, you can duel fellow students within the academy, and there will be like rewards for doing. I'm gonna make sure that there are incentives for doing it,
hmm.
not just items and not just items, but also in terms of story, in terms of character development and arc,
Right.
and some secrets. I know you guys love secrets and
Oh yeah.
mysteries. I'll make sure to incorporate those elements as well.
Um,
And I'm just so excited because I'm enjoying making the character designs and more so the battle system, the battlers. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be really fun.
oh crap! I
And
didn't
like
get three things.
in normal battles, you're like 4 people and they're monsters, and you can use items. What I want to do in a duel is that it's gonna be 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. I try to make it 1-on-1, but if it's not possible, fine, 4-on-4. But you won't be able to use items. I'll try my best so that you will only be limited to your spells, so that all of your decisions of what spells you learned, that's it. That's going to matter a lot in a duel, because if you don't have a healing spell, you won't be able to heal in a duel,
Right.
right? But because not everyone picks it, but so there are pros and cons. But it's something that I'm really excited to test. Like I don't want the healing spell to be overpowered or to be an essential, but at the same
Right.
time, it's going to put a lot of value in duels because you won't be able to use potions.
Right.
But so maybe I'll add some spells that can heal you, some lifesteal spells or whatever,
No,
just to make up for it.
I do have a question regarding spells, and actually, let me ask this first.
Yeah, yeah.
So I always tried to do the dueling in the demo, which obviously now I know is not an actual thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I cheated my
I
way to level
understand.
99, and she's like, "You're still not strong enough to face me." I was like, "Bullshit." I was like, "It's bullshit."
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sorry.
I do agree though that it would be pretty cool to have like story elements because it'd be like in the first Harry Potter movie, or maybe it was the second one. I think it was the second one, where they're in the dueling room and Malfoy and Harry are forced to face each other, for the class.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, that was great character building for the two. It really tested their rivalry. Now, do you have any rivals planned for the main character, or your character, I suppose, in Lawmage Academy?
Yeah, in a way, I mean, this isn't really a secret. Sylvia and her gang of
Right.
Lawmages, right? That's one thing already. I wanted to. They look like they're the main antagonists, but they're really not.
Yeah,
but
no,
they are in a way, they are your antagonists. They are your rivals.
There's some
There's some
judges,
story elements. There's some story elements behind them, which I'm not going to say, but
right. Yeah,
in a way, you will get to duel them in a legitimate way, because in the game right now, there's no legitimate way for you to defeat them or to face them. But there will be opportunities for that in the future updates. For sure, it's impossible that I don't do it, because they're already there. And I might even make them recruitable characters depending on your decision. Yeah, depending on how it plays out.
Lawmage
because each of them they belong to different houses.
Be the good guy. Yeah, no, I have a feeling I'm going to be doing multiple playthroughs when the game finally releases, trying to get every ending, all the secrets, all that shit. My time is going to be completely consumed, and it's going to be good. Now, another question I do have, and I know this is going to be a long stretch here. Now, with the dueling room, do you have any plans on possibly making it multiplayer, so where we can fight our friends? Just co-op, invite them to a room and fight them.
That will probably have to be a separate game.
Yeah, see, I kind of figured that.
Maybe a spin-off or something. But it can't. I have to limit myself to. I have to limit myself with this project. It's my first project, and I have no experience in multiplayer, and I know how difficult it can be to implement that.
Multiplayer is a pain.
Trying to, even if it's a limited multiplayer, it's still quite difficult. It might need some time and money, which might prolong the game further.
Right.
So I might just make a spin-off for it, actually, in the future. Maybe make it a mobile game or a Steam game.
Lawmage would definitely work as a mobile game. Like, it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't need the greatest graphics in the world to run it.
Exactly.
Any phone.
I mean, I can make the graphics. I can make the pixel art for it.
Right.
But just the infrastructure of making it multiplayer, it's something that I cannot do right now. But maybe in the future. Maybe. Thank you for suggesting it. Actually, I've never thought of it that way. But
I don't know. I always thought of it. I was like, that would be kind of cool. I can go beat the hell out of Poseidon real quick.
Yeah, probably. That would be nice.
Let's see. What else could we ask you here? So I do have a personal question here. What about your setup? So what is your workstation like? What do you work with?
Oh my god. I'll take a picture right now and show you.
Oh boy.
But basically,
send it to me on Twitter. Let me see this.
I will send it to you on Twitter. What I'm working on, I work in my room and I have a desk, but it's a small desk. I don't have a gaming chair. Like, my chair, it doesn't even have wheels. It's like your standard office chair.
Yep, neither does mine, dude.
I have a rickety old wooden desk. It's really small. I'm not comfortable working in this desk anymore, and I'm using a Mac. I'm using a 2016 MacBook Air. It's not even a MacBook Pro. It's a MacBook Air.
Do you hear this?
I know. Yeah, I hear.
That is my chair, dude.
Oh, it's your chair. I hear it sometimes when you're playing, when you're in your videos.
Yeah, I stopped recording over there because of that chair. It's got a bar that's bent in it, and it hurts my back. So now I just sit on the couch with the laptop in my lap.
I see. Yeah, but so you know how it feels. But I never made it as an excuse.
Yeah.
Stop working for my game, and I saw a video back then, a game dev video, and he said, if you want to make your own game, all you need is a computer and possibly an internet connection. Anywhere where you can put your computer and you have internet connection, you can make your own game.
Right.
And for me, I never made it an excuse. The lack of equipment, the lack of space, it's not an excuse for me to stop working on my game. Maybe in the future when I get funding, I'll get a better table, I'll get a better chair. I mean, because you're sitting here for long periods of time, might as well be comfortable. Invest in something that makes you comfortable. I could invest in a desktop because I'm working on a MacBook laptop, and you know, but it still works. I mean, I can make my game here perfectly fine. Or I could go to a coffee shop. Sometimes I go to a coffee shop and work there because the caffeine it stimulates the brain, and they usually have bigger tables, working tables there. Sometimes I would work there as well.
Um, if you drink a lot of coffee, I do recommend the coffee I drink, Death Wish. World's
Which
strongest coffee. It's insanely strong, but it's so
where can I
good.
get it?
You can you guys order Amazon there?
No, actually. Well,
Oh,
we
really?
can, but it's a hassle to have it shipped from the US to the Philippines.
Um,
But
so,
technically you can.
um, well, I don't know if you guys have Walmart there or not, but
Okay, so so it's in Walmart. I might ask my friends who go to
well,
the US,
well, it's
like,
not. It's its
have them
own
buy for me.
brand. You can go to their Death Wish coffee website. I get mine off of
Okay,
Amazon just because I have Prime
okay,
shipping,
okay.
so I get it in like 2 days. Um,
I
but
see.
it's expensive coffee. Like here in the U.S., it's about $20 for a pound. Um, but
Oh
it's
wow, a
like,
pound.
yeah, it's strong shit though. It'll
Okay.
definitely wake you up. But it
Maybe one day when I visit the US, who knows? Maybe I'll visit you and you can give me a cup of coffee.
yeah, dude, I'll give you a whole bag. Take it home with you.
Oh my, awesome, man.
Get back to the airport and
Cool.
they're back. We're gonna have to search your bag. We found chemical substance known as coffee. We're gonna have to
Inordinate
confiscate that.
amounts of coffee beans.
That's so good. It kind of tastes like chocolate, but you don't have to, because it's super strong, but it doesn't taste super strong. Because like some strong coffee tastes like way too strong.
Yeah,
Um,
they say acidic or
yeah,
sour.
yeah. This tastes kind of sweet. Like it's
Cool, interesting.
you can almost drink it black and it'd be fine. But
Okay,
which I don't drink my coffee black. I have to put sugar in it. If my coffee is not 90% sugar and 10% coffee, it's not coffee. Um,
right, right.
let's see. Is there anything else you'd like to say to everybody, or any info you'd like to share with your development story or your game in general?
Yeah, just stay tuned for the next major update next year.
Mm,
It's going to be awesome. I'm gonna try my best to release it sometime next year.
right.
As I get better and better in pixel art, I work faster, and
Hmm.
it's increasing my morale because now everything seems so achievable. And I'll make sure to keep you guys posted. Um, please do spread the word. Every retweet, share, like, every view. If you're watching this video right now, this podcast, you're listening to it, thank you so much. Please do support the content creators who's giving out Lawmage Academy content, who's making content, and just please do stay tuned. And I'll keep you guys posted. And it's going to be an exciting 2020. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, and like you said, just get out there, support all these awesome content creators out here, and of
Yeah,
course you, the developer, whose our videos would not be here without you. So awesome to you. You've made
thank you so
a
much.
game that we all love and all enjoy still playing to this day, even with some of the game breaking bugs. Like um, my first attempt at
Yeah,
the speed run, I recorded and I got stuck on that damn
yeah,
monster. I don't remember what the name of the Chimera. Um, so I went by myself thinking I could kill it faster. Yeah, no.
right.
Yep, nope. Fucking put me in an infinite loop of sleep. So don't do that, guys. When you play the game, don't do that. It's a bad move. Um, but other than that, I'll leave a link down to everybody. Leave a link down for your Twitter, your game, all that, down in
Thank
the
you.
description
Yeah,
below. As always, you guys need to go check him out. And this was fun. I had fun.
yeah, it was really fun. Looking
Um,
forward to your future podcast as well with the other games.
oh yeah. Yeah, I
Thank you so much.
can't wait to do that. And thank you for being the first developer to come on the
Oh,
podcast,
it's an honor. Thank you for this privilege.
as
Thank you so
always.
much.
All right, guys, don't forget to hit that like button and that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next podcast.